Hi, everybody. It's Arthur from Arthur Ease Your Mind, and I have Mel Door tonight for Aloha Tuesday. So does everybody got their grass skirt on?
Yes, and I was doing my little hula.
How are you, Mel?
I am all good. I can't complain. Here, I'll put some balloons up. How's that?
Oh, he's got his new computer. He can do fancy things now.
I got some fancy schmancies. And everybody go below you, in the comments and give it this.
Oh, wow.
Right?
I'll just go like this.
And thank you, everybody, for all of your loving support. So, I got a new toy. Anyway, I'm good. How are you, Arthur?
I woke up breathing. I'm happy. Little things.
Well, real quick infomercial. A quick infomercials here. I have room on my trip for Peru in September, and also call the number below, and also Iceland, and I need to get Iceland rolling. So please call my office or email me at the number below. I have had perpetually dry skin and little eczema and stuff like that. And a friend of mine, Andrew, hi Andrew, came up with a skincare line. It's called Androniki, and it's below. And this is the moisturizer. And then there's 7 different tubes, and I use for dry, irritated skin. So what you do is you just open this, you take a little, I put it on my face, but I also put it on my hands, right? And then you open this doohickey here. It looks like an ink pen, and you put some like that along with it. And I want to tell you something. This stuff is like miracle. It's incredible. It makes your skin feel so good. And Andrew sent some to Linda Grindle and to my staff here. And I want to tell you something. They are absolutely loving it. So here you go, everybody. Androniki. Check this out. You're going to love it. Arthur, I will ask Andrew if he'll send you some to you and some to Sherry. And so
we're not sponsored by this. We're just doing this kind of
No. Hold on. We are not being paid for this. This is not any kind of
cross.
This is no paid advertisement. It's just that, Andrew's a friend of mine, and if I didn't like the product, I wouldn't even talk about it. But, there's a lot of people that want us to be paid sponsors, and I won't do that. Mm-hmm. But, every now and again, somebody sends me a product that is really phenomenal, and this is one of them. So, and no, I don't have any interest in the company.
I just wanted to get that clear because, basically, who sponsors us? We do.
We do. So this stuff is excellent, and I would suggest, I give it my seal of approval. So, and also, I'm not being paid for my company to, offer the tours. So this is what
we do. Just like when I say, hey, you need guided meditations, especially like letting go of stress and anxiety.
Right.
You can get those off of Amazon and iTunes. Plus, they're free on my YouTube channel as well. So you can try those out.
So there you are. So, Arthur's channel, visit, thumbs up. Sherry's channel, Voices from the Swamp, thumbs up, and my channel. So anyway, infomercial's done. So there you are, right below you.
There we go. Anybody needs a reading? I'm pretty well open in February, so.
I have availability too. So I would suggest getting a reading from Arthur. He's phenomenal.
And why I'm here is because this gentleman here, I don't know which side you're on, so. I always feel like Ray Bolger was this way or this way.
Well, I remember when I do this from my iPad, everything's backwards, and it's like
I remember that day.
I thought somebody had put something in my water.
The eyeballs are going to pop out of your head.
Oh my God. I was like every which way but loose. Anyway.
So, got a lot of people in the house.
I want to say hi to my friend Becky, and everybody just send healing energy to Becky. I'll leave it at that. And Becky, you're going to be okay, sweetheart.
It was funny. The other day, somebody asked me on one of my shows if Donald Trump was going to release all the stuff about UFOs. I'm like, no, because then he'll find out the mothership left him behind.
No, the aliens don't want him.
That's what I'm saying. They left him behind.
Oh, please. He's not even alien. I don't know what he is.
Well, he grew his ear back, so something has to be.
He's living proof that human beings really did, some human beings really did copulate with amoebas.
You took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, I call him the blob boss, not mob boss. And do you realize what's caught on recently? People are actually saying Cheetolini.
I know one of my clients or one of our supporters in one of the chats called what was it?
Cheetolini.
Well, him Cheetolini, but something with Putin, I forget. But
Rasputin.
Remember, we were laughing so hard. And so Cheetolini has caught on. So Pegasus, I think, was one that came up with it. You go, because Cheetolini is the new term.
Brought to you by Hunt.
I have not watched the news today. However, I do want to bring up yesterday was, and we talked about it on Sherry's show last night and on my show with Linda yesterday, International Remembrance Holocaust Day. And it was the 80th anniversary of the Russian troops liberating Auschwitz-Birkenau. And Rubio came out and said that, yes, 6 million Jews were murdered in the Holocaust, which is true. I'm surprised they're not Holocaust deniers, because a lot of MAGAs are. But he did not mention the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Romas, the gays, the homosexual men, and the people with disabilities, the Russians that were all systematically murdered.
Romani gypsies?
Well, Romani is
sorry.
Romani is gypsy, but that's an inappropriate term now. It's Roma.
Roma, okay.
Or Romani. So, I thought to myself, here's somebody who is for massive deportations, whose boss, Cheetolini, is breaking every constitutional amendment that he possibly can. And he's talking and he's issuing a statement about the Holocaust. I'm like, what a hypocrite. Just for the record, Hitler arrested Jewish people without due process. Their only criminal actions because they were Jewish. Deported them, mass deportations to ghettos and then concentration camps, and then on to their death in the death camps in Poland, or work camps where they were worked to death. And I'm thinking to myself, and the Gestapo is the one that arrested them. Well, now ICE is arresting these people. It really is reminiscent of what took place in Nazi Germany. And then we have Elon Musk giving the Nazi salute and then going to Germany and telling the far ultra-right neo-Nazi people over there to put the guilt from the Holocaust, to put the guilt from the Nazis behind them and move forward.
Yep.
Who the hell does he think he is? We talk about human rights in this country, but yet under Cheetolini, doing everything in his power to be one of the biggest offenders against human rights of any country on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's disgusting. So, I think that people say, what can we do? You can write letters, get numerous people to write letters. I talked to a friend of mine today, and we're writing letters to the Vatican. We got a contact at the Vatican who can get a letter to the Pope, hopefully, about the bishop the Catholic bishop who appeared at the inauguration and also appeared on television and said, oh, he's convinced that Trump was contrite after the assassination attempt. Trump was really sorry and he had changed. And this bishop just is like endorsing Trump. And we're writing letters to the Vatican. We are starting movements so that we can have our voices heard. And I think everybody out there, if you're watching this, can do the same. A lot of people are afraid to speak up. Well, that's what they want. They want us to be fearful. And, Arthur, you were telling me something before we started.
I also want to add something else. There's a wonderful app. It's called 5calls.org. You put in your representatives, they get all the letters to the right people, to the right. Everything is done like 5 calls with one gesture. So check this out. I've been using it.
What's it called again?
5calls.org.
Spell it out, please.
5, the number 5.
Do you spell out 5 or just make
No, it's the number 5.
Uh-huh.
CALLS.org. It's on the screen right now.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. How do you do that?
Banners.
Oh, I see. That magic. It's like, how you do this? I do not know, but let's see.
So anyway, I just wanted to pass that on. It's a good one. So I just wondered why we were talking about what we can do.
Okay, good. I'm looking for something too that clergy is starting to speak up as well. I love that Episcopalian bishop, which she said, and the Trump admonished her for that. Luci DeLisi, what does she say? You want to read it?
Mel, thank you. I sent something to the Vatican on the weekend. I wrote that bishop a couple of times in the past.
So everybody send letters to the Vatican showing your displeasure. And I'm sure if enough of them come in, that the hierarchy in the church will see it. You might not hear anything back, but keep those letters going.
There's also another app I would like to suggest people look at.
Yes.
It's called Goods Unite Us. You can find it on your Apple or Android. And what it does is it lists all the companies out there, or if they're not listed, you can put it in. And they will tell you how much they donate to which, the Republicans or the Democrats. So you want to know where your dollars are going? They tell you.
My friend Dan Finaldi sent me a link as well from Father James Martin. All right. And on this link, it says, news, Cardinal Wilton Gregory, the Archbishop of Washington, D.C., apologizes to LGBTQ people. The way that we have treated our LGBTQ brothers and sisters has brought them tears and too many of us disgrace. So thank you, Cardinal Gregory, for that. So
I still like the one senator that said the bishop should be deported with the rest of them. She was born in New Jersey.
Or that they wanted to deport the Navajos. I'm like, hello? How can you deport them? They're born here. And where are you going to deport them to? Colombia?
Yeah, probably. It's really, we're in an upside down world sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not going to last forever. It has an expiration date like the yogurt in the back of the refrigerator.
I like that because I've been talking about the movie Schindler's List, and when the commandant of the concentration camp in that movie, I think they were portraying Amon Goeth, who was the head of some concentration camp in Poland. But anyway, he had this Jewish lady living in his home, and the way he treated her, he would beat her, and it was horrible. And I remember in that movie, Liam Neeson, or he played Oscar Schindler, was talking to this young lady, and he was reassuring her that, this would not go on forever, and just to hang in there. And I remembered that line. And so I passed that on, that this will not go on forever. There will be at some point a bright tomorrow. And all of these people who are doing this, I mean, I see war crime trials coming up, or trials. The international, what is it that had issued a warrant for Netanyahu?
God. If you would not ask me, I would have told you what it was. The international, like Nuremberg.
Right, but they correct for crimes against humanity. Well, at some point, I see Cittadini and a lot of these cronies arrest warrants out for them through that court. I forget what court it was. And they're going to be called to task on this, at least through certain countries that legally that will file legal papers. It'll take a long time, but it will happen. They won't do it now, but at some point, I'm thinking about maybe 3 or 4 years. So, but I can't think of the name of the organization that. The ICC, International.
I just found it too.
Okay.
ICC.
So
International Criminal Court arrests.
That the International Criminal Court at some point will file complaints against Rubio, against Cittadini, clearly against Musk, and this regime.
Steve Miller.
Yes, and this regime for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
This is my psychic prediction. It's just me being psychic. So, I was talking to my friend Andrew today, and he said, I saw this product, Androniki, doing very, very well. And so some people were like, is that your opinion or your prediction? I said, well, it's all my psychic predictions. Some people think it's my opinion. But
I need to clear something up, because people have, in recent weeks, have been leaving some comments just saying, well, everybody can give their opinion. But what I want to clarify is when I say I feel something, it's not, I'm feeling it from my guides. It's not like I'm making if it's a personal opinion, I will say it's my personal thought.
Thank you.
But most of the stuff that we're saying, it's not coming from us. Like I said, I'm the village idiot. The guides make me look smart.
That's why I say my guides say, or I predict, or whatever.
Sometimes and the thing is, sometimes the information comes so fast that if you don't say it as it's coming in, you'll lose it. And so I just say, I feel this. Like you say, my light bulb went off.
This is exactly how I do my readings. Mm-hmm. Okay.
We both do it the same way.
And so, it's all psychic. I'll tell you my opinion, yes. But I predict that they're going to have warrants and there's going to be investigations for the International Criminal Court. And at some point, they're going to be held responsible for crimes against humanity with what they're doing.
Accountable.
Right. My light bulb keeps going on if Trump lasts in office that he will be impeached again. And I don't see him staying in office the full 4 years. I just do not.
Well, my prediction was something's coming down at the end of March. I'm not saying he's leaving at the end of March, but something's going to come down. And then in June, July, a lot of doo-doo's hitting the fan. Even if you turn the fan off, it's still there.
There you go.
And that doesn't, or they forgot to change his diaper. Either one. But anyway, moving forward, we have lots of people asking questions.
But what I see also really quickly, I predict, just like in Argentina, when those people were being deported and disappeared, and the mothers got together and started protesting. What's happening to our sons and their protests? And everybody was afraid of the regime, the authoritarian regime. And those women got together and stand united, and they brought down that regime. And I see people here starting to really stand united, protest. You know, if he turns troops against them, it's not going to stop them. It's going to make them that much more determined. And it will be, my guides have always said, the women that will bring him down. So, I'm sorry.
That's okay. He just got off the soapbox. He got shorter.
Well, I'm hopping mad.
I'm using visual aids. Hi, Mel and Arthur. Love you guys. Will the Republicans at some point go against Cittadini with all the nonsense of the executive orders he is doing?
Well, they might publicly say, you know, there's a way around it. But at some point, there's going to be a group of Republicans are going to say, wait a minute. He took an oath to uphold the Constitution, if he's even frigging read it. And what he's doing is breaking the 14th Amendment right now when he says, well, anybody born here, you know, if their parents are illegal, then they're not going to be American citizens.
He was the anchor baby, so he gets deported.
Exactly. The 14th Amendment says anybody that's born in this country is an American citizen. And in order to change that, I don't know if it's 2/3 or 3/4. Huh?
2/3 of the states and 2/3 of the Congress.
That means the House and the Senate.
Correct.
And so guess what? That's hard to do. And there's not 2/3 of the states that would be for that. So, and I see somebody coming forward in the Mexican Latin community that is going to be really, really not afraid. Like what Martin Luther King was to our African American community, there's going to be a leader coming that's going to be really a strong force that's going to help bring down Cittadini and his authoritarian regime.
I'm glad you mentioned Martin Luther King. I was doing some research and I came across a beautiful quote from him. And I'd like to share it if that's okay.
Go ahead.
One of the greatest liabilities of history is that all too many people fail to remain awake through great periods of growth or social change. Every society has its protectors of the status quo and its fraternities of the indifferent, who are notorious for sleeping through revolutions. But today, our very survival depends on our ability to stay awake. Definition of woke.
Now, you were saying something about
You name a number of my dentist?
Before the show, that something about cutting off anti-AIDS drugs for AIDS. Can you explain that?
I don't know all the details, but I was reading a headline that said Trump's stop work order for PrEP cuts off anti-HIV drugs for patients. And then it was reading about it's towards clinics. A nonprofit organization in South Africa offers testing and medications to prevent and manage HIV at 3 clinics throughout the country. He just cut the aid to them. They don't have it.
Well, you know what's going to happen? What'll happen is they will start getting donations from people to help pay the cost of those medications.
Yeah, but he stopped the order, and it's from the United States President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief. And he just said, nope, we're not paying it.
Never mind. I won't say what I'm going to say, but with all of his dalliances, he's very fortunate that he didn't contract something.
Well, maybe he did and it went to his brain.
I mean, that's just like when during the Reagan years when AIDS came out. At first, he said it was a gay disease and didn't do anything about it. And just as his inaction allowed a lot of people to die, look at what his body did to him.
Well, at the same time, Nancy Reagan is, getting medication for what's his name, the lawyer Ron, the one who was Trump's mentor.
There you go.
Anyway, so next question, please.
Well, I see an organization, something like Mothers of America, that will stand up and march against, and the people that are here with status and that are here legally are going to stand up marching against these forced deportations. And I see it tied up in court. So he thinks that there's nothing that can stop him. I heard somebody on The View, and I said this today again, that she said, well, Barack Obama had more people deported than Trump ever did. And I'm like, wait a minute. You can't mix apples and oranges, because Barack Obama never had ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, going to people's houses, dragging them out in the middle of the night, or people that have lived here for 30 years with no criminal background whatsoever, has a house, pay taxes, dragged out of their home. Barack Obama never sent ICE agents to schools, did he? Or
churches.
Hospitals or churches. Wrong. And it's just, it's wrong. It's wrong.
What I've been saying is, it's when they start going after the nannies in Beverly Hills because they all speak Spanish and the kids only speak Spanish. They don't know how to talk to their parents. The parents are going to be like, no, you can't take my nanny. It's fun.
Well,
Valerie says, hi, dear, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Hi, dear Arthur and Mel. Thank you for helping us through this tough time in our country. Question: when will Felon 47 get his karma? He is simply an evil person.
It has already begun.
The man wears a diaper.
It has already begun. It's going to take a while, but karma will happen to him. The same as it happens to all dictators. A lot of people are like, I can't believe I voted for him. And why are people so surprised? He told everybody what he's going to do, and here he is.
Because he was also telling people, I'm going to bring down the price of groceries. I'm going to cut interest rates. The price of gas within a year is going to be half.
Well, let's see what's going to happen with the price of groceries, because what he's doing is going to cause inflation. His tariffs are going to cause inflation. And I see the country going into a high inflationary period, and they complain about inflation under Biden. You ain't seen nothing yet.
At the same time, the fact that they are forbidding any American people to talk to the World Health Organization, and they have a blackout on all health. So we're like mushrooms. We're in the dark, and they're feeding us crap.
Well, what'll happen is
the pandemic in China, and then the bird flu. I'm sorry. It's just, that's what's getting me crazy. It's like they want to control the narrative. With COVID, they couldn't control the narrative. Now
it'll still leak out. They can't control the narrative. That's what I was going to say. You know what? They cannot prevent the news from reporting. They'll try. But what's going to happen is that news organizations, BBC, things like that, it's going to get reported. It really will.
And did you see that Costa quit CNN after 18 years?
I couldn't hear you.
Acosta just quit CNN after 18 years. And on his way out, he said, don't listen to the lies.
Well, but a lot of those lies is going to come forward that they are lies. And, he wants to control the media. That's what dictators do. Yeah. But for a while, it might look like he's winning on a few fronts, but there are other media organizations outside of this country that is going to let the truth out, and it will be leaked, and it's going to be all over social media.
I know, but I've got my bleach ready for just injecting my arm. Sandra Bender. Hi, Arthur and Mel. Love you both. Thank you. Will there be some kind of cosmic karmic court that will judge the egregious behavior of these Bible-thumping pseudo-Christians like Mike Johnson for their lies.
Well, the International Criminal Court is going to do a lot of, and it'll be made public. So,
I think they're asking about the cosmic.
I get that, but you know what? I believe in cosmic karma, but these people are going to seek karma right here on the earth plane.
What I've always said is, though, sometimes I feel sorry for MAGA people, because if there's reincarnation, they're the upgrade. What were they before?
They will come back. Well, I would say as a cockroach.
No, but what were they before they were MAGA now?
I would say they would come back as a cockroach. But, cockroaches can withstand nuclear war. So.
Yeah, cockroaches share in crabgrass.
Hello. So I don't think they were any sort of life form, because nature, all the life forms on the planet have a purpose.
Maybe if we come back in another lifetime, in another era, as a duck-billed platypus, that'd be fun.
I like platypi.
No, but duck-billed platypus. Hi, everyone. I ended up getting the flu. I'm sorry. I tried to get the same day appointment at Indian Health Service Clinic, and they said they have limited space due to Orange Menace budget freeze. What the hell?
Well, and a lot of that's going to start leaking out. He's going to try to silence the press. World Health Organization. He's not going to be able to do it. It will leak out, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Like it's
You might say the government won't talk about it, but it can't stop media outlets or make it against the law for us to talk to someone. That's violation of our free speech. Another constitutional thing he's breaking. He took an oath to uphold the Constitution.
Yeah, he's making everybody have loyalty tests to him, not the Constitution.
There you go.
Hi, Jackie. Question: how will Trump's unconstitutional cuts of our funds go over in court?
Like a lead balloon. I was going to say like a snowball in Hades, which is exactly where he's going to end up, but the devil don't want him either.
I was going to say like a fart in an elevator.
The courts will say he can't do that.
No. As long as he's just seeing how far he can push it. And the guy's nuts. His brain is Swiss cheese right now.
He's seeing how far he can push it. And a lot of these people like Mike Johnson, is so far up his rear end that
he's punching his uvula.
If he stopped, he'd get brown on his nose real quick. But
has CIA briefed on Trump on UFOs?
That I don't know.
I feel he knows something, but like I said, he doesn't want people knowing that they left him behind. They kicked him off the mothership.
I'm not so much worried about UFOs right now. I'm worried about the inhumanity and the madness that's taking place.
It's like the guy said during the, have you no humanity? Have you no decency?
Oh, that's exactly what's going to come forward. Somebody, just like what they did to McCarthy, having no decency. I see a couple people coming up that outspoken against Trump and his cronies, specifically with Mike Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Don't let religion get in your way of thinking. Mercury Angel, hello. I just heard that the orange dumpster fire is now thinking of deporting Americans who have committed several crimes to other countries for a fee. Hitler much? Jeez.
Well, number one, if we're born in this country and we're a citizen of this country, he can't deport us. Right. He can't revoke our citizenship. That's unconstitutional. So, I think if you're naturalized and you commit crimes, they can revoke your citizenship, but you have to go through due process. You have to go through the courts. So
it's not like being excommunicated from the church.
Correct. So he can say he's going to do all of that, but is going to get tied up in the courts, and the courts are going to say, no, you can't.
And that's why he's firing all the lawyers.
I see a constitutional crisis coming.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what he's doing. A constitutional crisis is not good. And I see this country, we're already in a little bit of a civil war, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you have mothers doing the Nazi salutes on TikTok, modeling after Elon Musk.
I never thought I'd see that in this country. My father and my uncles fought in World War II to stop the Nazi tyranny. But, you know, for all of those goofs that did that, there's going to be a lot of mothers standing up saying, we've had it. We're not going to allow them to deport our families, our children. Many, many people are going to start standing up.
Yeah. It gets to the point where enough is enough. It's like battered wife syndrome. She sticks around, but after a while, it's like, I can't do this anymore.
Well, wait till it starts infringing on their rights, and they start paying more money at the grocery stores and more money for gas. And this.
And California stops supporting all the red states.
A lot of governors are going to talk about secession, and they'll try to figure out a way to do it without breaking the law. And they're going to be like, well, Trump can do it. Why can't we? You know, the thing is,
I wouldn't be in Providence of Canada.
You know, how can Trump talk about deporting criminals? How do you define criminal? Just because people are living here without a green card or status and they've worked and paid taxes, well, that's technically they're breaking the law. But excuse me, they don't have 34 felony convictions. So Cittadini, where are they going to deport you to? Or your friend Elon?
Catherine,
that was not a psychic statement. That was my opinion.
Yeah, that we could tell. Catherine, will Hawaii survive with all the Fed, DEI, and grant cuts we depend on? We depend on 85% of whatever that is, et cetera, for food, necessities, et cetera.
The answer is yes, Hawaii will survive. Donald Trump is going to pick on blue states. Hawaii is a blue state. But, you know, the Hawaiians are very resourceful people, and he'll try. But Hawaii will survive. Yes, they will.
I don't want to sound too airy-fairy, but Hawaii is protected. It really is.
Well, the tourists
on there. It's always.
Here's the deal. It's a playground for a lot of rich, wealthy people. Many of them are, you know, believe the way we do. Many of them are bigots. But the bottom line is, you start taking away people's playgrounds, and they're not going to vote for you, and they're going to scream. They're going to start yelling. So if he cuts all those things to Hawaii, it's going to influence the goods and services that the tourists get, and it ain't going to bode well for him.
Right.
So it's not going to go over as large as it thinks.
No.
And they're going to ask for emergency funds anyway that they will get.
Hi, Kathy Reagans.
Hi, Kathy.
Hello, handsome gentlemen. My question is, do you both still see a two-state rule in Israel and the Gaza Strip? Blessings to you both.
Not a question of if, a question of when.
Right. I do not see Trump being able to put up high-rise condos on where the Gaza Strip, on beachfront property. I don't get it.
Oh, he'll try with Jared Kushner.
They'll try, but it's not going to happen. That's a prediction.
I have one thing to say. ALOHA Hawaii. ALOHA Hawaii. Long live Hawaii. So anyway.
I'll wear a grass skirt next week. Hi, guys. Give us some good news. What's something I'm lifting that's going to happen soon? We will all read his obituary one day.
Trump will get carpal tunnel and can't sign those things.
Oh,
that was not psychic. That was a joke. That was a joke. Well, the good news I see coming is there's going to be so many people standing up against him, and the courts are going to start overruling a lot of the crap that he's pulling, and even the Supreme Court, he thinks will do his bidding. But I want to tell you something: they will not. So,
good news. The thing is, good news is there are channels like this one and a lot of others that you can turn to. That we're trying to be as honest as we can.
The justice system will save us. That's what my guides tell me.
Yeah. Hi, Helen. Hello, boys. The poop show started with Cittadini. When will we get past the craziness of Trump? When
Within 2 years.
What's that?
Within 2 years. Mm-hmm. He will be gone.
Yeah. And I don't see them naming any like high schools after him.
You know, it's kind of gone to his head. I'm going to sign this order and that order, and I can do
this.
What
are you signing? That's the problem. They're just putting stuff in front of him.
He's going to try to pick on gay marriage, but Biden did codify that. Mm-hmm. So the idea is if you are married and you go to a state that might not want to have gay marriage, they still have to honor your marriage.
But you can't get a marriage license in the state that they say they don't have gay marriage. You have to go to another state.
Correct.
That's why here in California in the last election, they were still in the books that marriage between a man and a woman. So it's Prop 3, I think it was, where they put it into the Constitution that you can marry who you want and love, as opposed to a man and a woman.
Well, he'll mess with those rights, but guess what? Here, you know, I see a new court coming at once he's gone, and I also see many of the things that he's doing will be overturned. My guides show me legislation passed to keep foreigners like Russia and China out of our election, and that there will be legislation passed to make sure that these things never happen again.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Daryl. And we have another question here. Miss Daryl's.
Oh, no, I didn't see what that said. And the Dems are doing nothing but what? I didn't see that.
Okay. The Democrats in Congress, will the Democrats in Congress take Greg Palast finding serious on Democrat voters purged from the voting rolls by the Republicans in all the states that Trump cheated in?
Absolutely.
He has the receipts. He's got all the proof.
They'll take it seriously, but here's the thing. People want action now. And you have to have a strategic plan. And my guides had told me that the Democrats have been planning for a very long time in case Trump did win, certain things they can do. Mm-hmm. And that's what's going on behind the scenes. So it might look as if they're not taking action, but they have many strategic plans in place.
You're just not saying anything because you don't want the enemy knowing what you're up to.
Correct. They're playing it smart. And I see a leader coming in the Democratic Party who's going to be very charismatic, who's going to not let Trump bully him or her, who will call out all of these injustices and all of that, but it's too early yet. You have to let him have enough rope to hang himself. And and I see this strong leader coming who would be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very proactive in making sure we take over the House and the Senate. And at some point, after T. Rump is gone and Vance is gone, would be president of the United States, and will make sure that these sorts of things never happen again. I see a very strong leader coming for the Democratic Party. Somebody with even more charisma than Barack Obama, and who, Donald Trump to some people is charismatic. To me, he's repugnant. But I still see somebody coming with charisma who's going to be very outspoken and talk about diversity and equality and all of those things and bring those back. So the Dems are working behind the scenes.
They have been for years.
That's
You know
right.
what Trump reminds me of? The crazy uncle at the end of the table at Thanksgiving you just threw food at.
Right.
But now he won the lottery. Then you have to be nice to him.
Right. And also, I predict that there are going to be Republicans that will also join the movement.
Yes.
To how do we, let's curb Trump.
Yes. Mary, or as Mel said, love trumps hate.
Oh, I got to show you my shirt that teacher Barbara sent me. Give me 1 second here.
Oh, good. He's gone. We can talk about him now. Just kidding.
Here's the shirt that she sent me. I should have had it on.
Nice.
So there you go, everybody. I meant to put it on and I forgot to, but I will wear it on one of my shows. Teacher Barbara sent me this.
That's nice.
And, yes. So I just wanted to show.
I just wanted to add that because I think that was very nice when you said that a couple weeks ago.
Well, that's
Mary Wilson. Will Dum Dum go through with the tariffs on Canadian goods this weekend?
Well, if he does, it's going to cause a great deal of inflation. And, he'll say he will, but then he's going to say, well, I negotiated with them and we came up with this deal. And so therefore, we're not going to do it. I won.
And did you see that Google caved in on their maps? It's now the Gulf of America.
Well, I refuse to call it that.
So do I.
And at some point, it won't be called that. Once he's gone, it'll be back to the Gulf of Mexico. But yet, a lot of these countries in South America are going to come together with a South and Central American Union that's going to be very, very strong. They'll have a common currency, and they will stand up against Trump, and they will call it the Gulf of Mexico.
I'll just call it the Gulf, formerly known as Mexico.
Or the Gulf, but
it's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, tariffs in Canada, that's crossing the Rubicon. If he does
it does happen, it won't last long, but here again, that's his way of trying to control Canada.
Yeah, watch what Trudeau does.
It'll be 25% tariff, 50% tariff, blah, blah, blah. But what he doesn't realize is we use a lot of Canadian goods, and it's gonna crucify us too if he does that.
Yes.
He'll try it, but I don't see it lasting long.
No. Another one from Kathy Reagans. Hello, mighty gentlemen of light. Who's talking about? do you both see Kamala continuing her political career? Blessings to you both. She hasn't stopped.
She's going to be very outspoken against Trump, as will Liz Cheney, as will a lot of other people. The Lincoln Project is going to skyrocket, and they're going to be putting out some pretty damning stuff. And then he's going to try to say they can't put it on national television. And that's going to be a huge court battle. He's going to try to restrict freedom of speech. Mark my words, but he will not win.
Right. And Google is the parent company of YouTube, just to say, put it out there.
Well, do you think that they'll restrict our shows, Arthur?
I looked at that the other day and I felt no.
Okay. I think Google will only let them get by with X amount as well.
It's like, okay, we'll give them the Gulf of America. We're keeping YouTube.
Right.
Hi, Lawrence R. What will be the future about the Medicaid and all federal financial help? This is the stuff that he froze today. And another judge said he said no, he blocked it.
There, and it's going to be tied up in the court. The blockage will be tied up in the court. I see a lot of stuff going all the way up to the Supreme Court, and they're going to be so busy, they're not going to have time to hear all of it. So they'll just uphold the decisions of the lower courts. This is the burden that he's putting on people. All right. Carrying the sticks toward the town. He's burdening everybody. There's going to be, I think, somebody probably in their 40s is going to come along, a judge or something, and a couple of judges to overturn most of the things that Trump has done. The next thing I pulled was the Hermit. So Trump is going to be very lower lip syndrome because he doesn't get his way. And look, here's the Magician. He's trying everything he can over here to deflect the BS he's going to pull over here.
Yep.
Final card is there's a struggle, there is a battle, and let's ask the outcome of Trump will win. We're going to turn our back on him. So he will not win. Maybe a few, but what do you pick up, Arthur?
Our new national anthem is "I Will Survive." Hello, Gloria Gaynor.
I pulled the 6 of diamonds here for Mr. Trump. It means a sudden shock from lots of bad news. So,
well, when I pulled out of my little deck about what's going on, I get rats and mice.
Ooh, that means theft. That means theft.
Theft, greed, gossip, all that kind of crap. And that was just about the Republican Party, and that's what I got. And then what's coming up? The death card, change.
I just pulled the 5 of spades. All right. Which is a death card as well. It's an acute loss of property. It's an illness. And Trump is going to lose a lot of his so-called empire within the next, I see the number 6, within the next 6 months. He's going to cause a lot of Americans to lose properties and things like that, but he's going to lose a big part of his empire. And so will Elon Musk. The next card I pulled was a 10 of diamonds. And what that means is it's a side that means disappointment, and it means death.
Which card?
Death of his regime, death of the things he's trying to do.
What deck are you reading from? What was deck was that?
Gypsy Witch deck.
Okay. The Lenormand deck, that is based on the Lenormand deck. So that card you just pulled is also known as the card of divorce.
Oh, there you go. So, yeah, but I've been reading the Gypsy Witch cards for years.
Well, it's the same as the seriously, it's the same as the Lenormand deck. A lot of it's modeled after it. The Lenormand deck came first.
Hi, Acadian Proud. Everybody in Canada, please, please, please speak up. Because if you're not diligent, the same thing will happen in Canada that's happened here. Elon Musk is going to try to buy Canada for entertainment purposes only. My guides are telling me.
Springtime for Elon. And never mind. And I did not make this up. I just pulled one more card about what we were talking about.
I can't see it. What does it say?
It's a sickle and this is the card of divorce.
Yeah. Okay.
Same as what you just had.
Wow.
Look that up. So anyway, let's see here. Has Project 2025 set Trump up as the fall guy for the beginning of their reign so they can get rid of him once all the anger is directed at him? The anger's not going to be directed at him. It's going to be directed at all of them.
It's going to be directed at all of them. And there's a sudden shock from bad news. Again, I pulled the 6 of diamonds, which is the number 51. It could be like 51 weeks. It could be within a year and a half. It's a lot of bad news coming out for these people who think that they're going to be able to push Project 2025 through. They're not going to be able to.
And at the beginning of the show, I said something comes down in March and then June, July. And you were saying in 6 months? That goes with that timeline.
And my psychic flash cube just went off again when they asked this question. I think what Trump is doing, and with even the MAGAs that are supporting him, it's a litmus test to see how much of 2025 they can get pushed through. And
not much.
Maybe a few things, but not much.
I do not see them being successful getting rid of the Board of Education.
Me either. The future of Medicaid, I think federal financial help. Here again, they're going to try to cut it, but judges will say, no, you cannot do that. You know, people need to have health insurance, and you cannot have people without it. You know, he's going to try to cut Medicaid, but I see the court stepping in saying, you cannot. He's going to try to cut it specifically to blue states, but that's
but also, isn't it some of that money also has already been designated to where that money's going? So he can't just say, it's like, remember all the money was supposed to go to helping Ukraine, and he withheld it until Zelensky gave him dirt on Biden? Same
correct.
thing.
Right.
Didn't happen. So
well, that's the way he does stuff. But yeah, he's going to find out that those tactics aren't going to work.
Mm-hmm. And I think we have time for one more question. Hi, Barbie. What will happen to all people in these key positions in second regime of the Orange Mango, like Susie Wiles and Rubio? Have you ever heard the song Taps?
Dun, dun,
Or have you seen a picture of the Hindenburg?
I think, you know, when Trump is out of office and Vance comes in, you know, the House will be the House and the Senate will be controlled by the Dems, but there will be also some Republicans that will be totally anti-MAGA, and so, you know, Vance might leave Rubio in, but it'll be lame duck stuff. So
I have to be honest, I don't see Vance. I feel Trump goes down and he goes with him as a co-conspirator.
Well, let's see what happens. But
that's not my person. That's what my guys.
Well, you know, you might be right on that, because it's like reminiscent of the Nixon years when Nixon was resigned and Spiro T. Agnew was the vice president, and then there was so much on Agnew, and Agnew resigned.
So much greed and everything. They said, look, we will not take you to court if you just resign and don't ever enter politics again.
Andrew just sent me, he was watching this show. He just sent me a thank you. He said, thank you both so very much. So
you're welcome. Anytime we can help somebody that's good in starting out with something.
Yeah. I mean, we all want to look nice. So, and here's a way to do it and protect your skin in this winter weather.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have the money to go to Korea to get a facelift. So,
well, here's an option.
Even though I live in Beverly Hills. You know, I just want to say one more thing. I did a show last night, and I told people you have to find a way to laugh and have humor in your life. And I got some scathing emails from people saying, how can you, when little children are doing this, all these bad things are happening, how can you say to laugh? That is not how I meant it, that we ignore all of that. But when we start going down the rabbit hole, stop. Stop yourself. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying find humor in children and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying try and find humor in life. And we'll get through this. Does that make sense?
Oh,
and that's me. That's not the guys.
It's not that we're laughing at people being deported. We're not laughing at any of that. It's egregious. It's demonic. It's repugnant. But, you know, my grandmother used to always say there's two things you can do. You can laugh or you can cry. And sometimes it's harder to laugh. But at the end of the day, laughter will heal you. So we're not laughing about people getting deported or any of this American apartheid, these horrific things happening in our country. But our humor, if it comes from love, you know, love trumps hate. Humor trumps hate. And so let's don't forget how to laugh.
Sherry just said, watch a funny movie. I just said, yes. Watch. It's a mad, 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 mad world.
Correct. Let's don't forget how to laugh.
Take care, Foxy Roxy. Take care, everyone. Stay strong. Love to all. We must find one joy and I didn't finish reading that. Correct, Arthur. We can't go down the rabbit hole of doom. It serves no one. Find something in each day, even if it's just a smile.
Or do something nice for somebody, you know?
Yeah.
There's TB outbreaks going on. Let's see what Trump's going to do about that. Oh, I'm sorry. We can't talk about any outbreaks.
No. Anyway, so thank you. And now what your job and your mission in life is to go to Mel's Doors site, hit like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Leave a comment, and the same here. And I said I wanted to hit 15 by March, the end of March. I just hit 14. So thank you, everybody.
Well, I want to hit 30 by March, so I don't know what I'm at, but I hope I can't.
Well, I've got fake accounts, but not enough to cover it.
I'm sorry, say again?
I said I have fake accounts. I'll help you, but I don't have enough to cover it.
You think I'll hit 30 by the end of March?
Waistline?
I'm sorry?
Did you say waistline?
No, I'm talking about subscribers.
I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say no.
All right. Well, here
always together, people. If you need readings, there's Mel for readings with his love.
We're sending this to everybody there. All this love. Love trumps hate, everybody.
Yes, it does. So you need to get a hold of Mel. There you go. If I'm not walking with a sandwich board, you can get a hold of me at arthureaseyourmind.com and Sherry at swampvoice@gmail.com.
There you go.
Thank you, everyone. And next week, it's on the Mighty Mel channel.
There you go. And we will see you same time, same place. And it's really both of our channels. We just alternate weekly. But
yeah.
All right, everybody. Remember, try the Androniki. This stuff is great. Arthur, don't hang up at the end because I will need your address. You are going to be
Awesome State Prism cell number.
You're going to be sent some wonderful Androniki products.
Okay. Thank you. All right, everybody. Just don't forget we're in this together. All right. Oh, I'm supposed to say, and here we go.